Good morning, St. Martin. I'm Yesenia Lazaro.
And I'm Alston Lawrence.
And welcome to another edition of St. Martin News Desk.
Brought to you by TV15.
We're bringing the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond.
It's the beginning of the week. We had a wonderful week, and happy Father's Day to all of those over the weekend. But you know what? Let's dive into our top headlines.
Grief swept through the community as the two young brothers reported missing after traveling from Antigua to St. Martin have been confirmed safe. According to a June 13th update from the police of St. Martin, KPSM. Detectives spoke with the brothers' mother on Friday morning, who confirmed she had made contact with them. She explained that mechanical issues with their vessel left them adrift between Antigua and Barbuda for extended period. Fortunately, both are alive and safe. The update follows days of worry and public appeal for information after the brothers' unexplained disappearance post-arrival in St. Martin. While the immediate concern for their safety has eased, KPSM emphasized that the case remains open. Authorities are now working with regional maritime and law enforcement partners across the Caribbean to confirm the brothers' current location and ensure their continued well-being. Anyone with further information is still encouraged to contact the Phillipsburg Police Station at 542-2222 or call the anonymous tip line at 9300.
In his 2025 Father's Day message, Minister of Public Health, Social Development and Labor, the Honorable Reginald Burke, expressed deep appreciation for the fathers and father figures in St. Martin. Minister Burke acknowledged the vital roles played by fathers, not only those connected by blood, but also by heart and by example. He praised their everyday acts of love, guidance, and sacrifice, noting their impact on shaping future generations and strengthening community bonds. From hard-working fathers to grandfathers, uncles, mentors, and stand-in father figures, Brooke emphasized that their contributions do not go unnoticed. Quote, "You are seen, you are valued, and appreciated," he said. On behalf of his ministry, the minister extended sincere gratitude, reminding all fathers that their presence and leadership are irreplaceable. He closed with a wish for a joyful and love-filled Father's Day celebration. Government leaders, heritage advocates, and archival experts gathered on Friday to affirm a united effort to protect St. Martin's documentary heritage under the Echoes of Memory Preserve project. The initiative, led by Cadastre St. Martin in partnership with KITLV and local stakeholders, marks a major step toward establishing a national archive. Cadastre Director Benjamin Ortega emphasized the urgency, citing the lack of legislation and facilities as key threats to preserving vital records. KITLV researcher Daniela Britt echoed these concerns, highlighting deteriorating materials, including historic land deeds dating back to the slavery era, as in need of immediate action. Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Luc Marcelino delivered a powerful speech urging an end to inaction. "We must make this the turning point where intent becomes action," he said, stressing that the archive is vital to nation building and long-term independence. Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports, the Honorable Melissa Gumbs, reaffirmed her ministry's support, noting the collaborative groundwork already in place. UNESCO's Marcelia Henry closed the session with a call to modernize preservation efforts and continue building capacity. The message was clear: safeguarding St. Martin's history is not optional, it is essential.
The Honorable Finance Minister Marinka Gumbs has announced the introduction of a 10% dividend withholding tax, a new measure aimed at generating an estimated 10 million guilder annually for St. Martin. Though the law has been signed since December 18, 2024, it has yet to be formally published and enforced. Set to take effect by January 1st, 2026, the tax will require companies to withhold 10% on dividends distributions. Minister Gomes clarified that while the tax is not included in the 2025 budget, preparations from IT upgrades to public education are actively underway. Unlike other measures, this tax doesn't require parliamentary approval, as it builds on legacy legislation from the Netherlands Antilles era. Gomes emphasized that this is a fully new initiative under her leadership, different from enhancements like the tourist tax. This is about responsible reform, said Gomes. We're laying the foundation for long-term economic resilience, not just short-term fixes. She assured that the rollout will be phased, transparent, and designed to minimize disruptions for businesses and taxpayers. Further updates will follow as the implementation process advances.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Hello, my people. Make sure you tune in to Sit, Sip, and Chat every Monday at 5 p.m. on TV 15 and every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m.
And make sure tune in to the Late Night Show with Andrew Dick from Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. with a repeat in the afternoon for no reason. In the afternoon, the Late Night Show at 3 p.m. Thank you, TV 15.
Thank you, TV 15. Make sure tune in.
Make sure tune in to the Late Night.
And Sit, Sip, and Chat.
Late Night.
Local artist King James has joined forces with the Ministry of Public Health, Social Development, Labor, and the Honorable Minister, Reginald Broek, to lead a youth-focused mental health awareness campaign across St. Martin. Known for his relatable lyrics and strong connection with young audiences, King James brings authenticity and influence to a topic too often buried under stigma. Through music, messaging, and school outreach, the campaign encourages students to speak up about their emotional well-being. Mental health matters at every age, said King James. Nothing in life is perfect, so it's okay not to be okay. Don't keep it bottled up, talk to someone. You're never alone. The ministry's initiative aims to normalize conversations around mental health and provide youth with safe spaces to share. It's a reminder that seeking help is not a weakness, it's courage in action.
Branch Prison is showing steady progress as the Ministry of Justice reports successful restoration of inmates' housing, resumed family visitation, and a special Father's Day event to support emotional well-being. Inmates are now back in their designated cells, and key programs such as outdoor recreation, gym access, music classes, and labor duties have been reactivated. Family visits resumed on June 12th, with 14 visits held on the first day in a fully sanitized environment. Yesterday, June 13th, a Father's Day event was organized with Judicial and Institutional Services, bringing together 31 inmate fathers for group sessions, support engagement, and postcard making, reinforcing bonds with loved ones and the prison's focus on rehabilitation. Restoration of smoke-damaged areas is ongoing and on schedule, while behind-the-scenes upgrades to security systems are being implemented for long-term safety. Kurisawan correctional officers have concluded their support mission, marking another step toward local operational control. The ministry reminds the public to follow official updates only, as accurate information is key to continued progress. St. Martin's Soul Beach Music Festival drew praise for its economic impact but sparked political tensions during 2025 budget talks. Tourism Minister the Honorable Grisha Heiliger Martin reported 2,500 visitors and millions in tourism spending, calling the event a smart investment. An independent review has been requested to ensure transparency. Despite this, opposition MPs Egbert Duran and Omar Otley questioned the funding process, accusing the finance minister of avoiding responsibility and leaving Heiliger Martin to face criticism alone. The Democratic Party defended her, calling the backlash political opportunism. They clarified that while the festival wasn't in the 2024 budget, it was approved by the Council of Ministers and partially funded by the Ministry of Finance. Heiliger Martin emphasized the event's role in boosting the island's profile. The festival's legacy remains to be seen, but its political fallout is already clear.
Fight against human trafficking and smuggling in St. Martin took a major step forward this week as National Coordinator Erlyn Hoover met with the Consular General of the Dominican Republic, Demetrio Antonio Fernandez Mena. Their June 11th meeting, organized by Police Inspector Leandro Romley, focused on protecting vulnerable migrant communities through strategic collaboration. The discussion emphasized the urgent need to raise awareness about exploitation risks and to expand cooperation between local institutions and international partners. Both officials agreed that education and prevention are essential in breaking the cycle of trafficking. One major outcome was the Consular General pledge to support the See Something, Say Something campaign, led by the National Reporting Bureau. As part of this, flyers with key information will be distributed at the consulate to reach those most at risk. The officials also addressed St. Martin's current Tier 3 ranking in the U.S. Department of State's anti-trafficking report. Stakeholder participation, they said, is key not only to protecting lives, but also to improving the country's standing and global reputation. Plans are underway to involve representatives from other national communities on the island in future awareness efforts. The aim is to create a network that strengthens detection, prevention, and support services. For campaign details, visit www.nrc.sx. To report anonymously, call the KPSM, the Police Force of St. Martin, at the tip line number 9300.
Hey there, it's Mizzy with a Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Martin, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. Let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us. Follow NEWSDESK on Facebook for your daily Sunshine Report. So as you enjoy the rest of your day, stay safe, stay friendly. Sunshine City.
Thank you for being with me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields, and a happy Father's Day to all the dads out there and all those that have a position like a dad. All right, let's get a look at the flood threat. It is going to be higher, and there's going to be a surge of moisture lifting into the Gulf. I want to show you that the computer models on that. We're going to see an area here try to develop, and that is going to swing up toward Mexico, and some of that moisture could then feed into the Bay of Campeche and right up, even up toward Texas. This will be a hot spot to watch. Elsewhere, I want to watch another surge of dust that will be moving in. Dahlia out there, and I want to show you where that severe weather threat is changing across the U.S. So a busy pattern in some spots. Now let's start with this because that flood threat is so very important. I've been highlighting this actually for a couple of weeks now in Central America, how by mid-month the rain chance would build. That is what is happening. We are seeing that. Now what's going to happen? We'll have an intense flood threat throughout much of Central America, swinging back toward parts of Mexico. Now Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, heavy rain is going to be mainly off to the west. I'll show you that with a computer model in just a second for us in Jamaica, Cayman Islands, back through Cuba. But this area in the Pacific will develop. The Pacific has been so active. We're going to have a fifth name system out there. Eric will be the next name, but this one will be a little bit different. Instead of shifting off toward, shifting off toward the west, it's going to most likely drift more to the north. Here's Jamaica. Here we are in Belize, and you see in Jamaica, most of the rain staying to the south, but Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, still in Costa Rica and Panama, that rain continues to build. Now, this is tomorrow. Let's go out in time here further as we go step by step throughout the week. You could see the rain just building as we work our way into Tuesday. Now, it's almost like we get two little spots in here. One very close to Honduras and Nicaragua, and then as we get over toward Guatemala and El Salvador. This second area here, this is what should develop as it lifts toward Mexico. Now, there's a couple of fronts to the north as we get back toward the southern U.S. That may help to just draw some of that up to the north. It gives it an alleyway to move to the north. Now, as we work our way into Wednesday, you can see the really heavy rain. Guatemala right here, El Salvador, parts of Honduras, Nicaragua, here's Mexico. This is the area that should develop into a tropical storm and then lift into Mexico. Heavier rain elsewhere, watching Providencia, San Andres, Nicaragua, and then keeping an eye on some of these tropical waves that'll move closer to St. Lucia, Barbados, Grenada, and Trinidad. But I want to show you also that dust in a moment. Now, all right, let's switch to that. Speaking of that, here we are in the Caribbean. So Dominica, Barbados, Trinidad. You could see these big tropical waves that have come off. And as we've been talking about, they've been running into some of the dust. Look what happens next with this dust. Now, a lot of us have that. I've been watching your comments. This yellow shading, that's where some of the dust is. That's been feeding all the way into the southern United States, moving into the Gulf. Now, this is today, Eastern Caribbean, Antigua, Barbuda, Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis. We've had some dust. It's not the thickest round we've had, but we've had a round. We'll see that again on Wednesday. This here is the middle of the week, still seeing some of that dust around. So these tropical waves have been running into the dry air and the dust. So the rain building, especially in the Western Caribbean, that big flood threat for Central America, monitoring for development. We'll get some development on the Pacific side, and then we'll see how this rain kind of lifts up to the north, up toward Texas, in through the Western Gulf, and Dahlia weakening out there in the Eastern Pacific. So thank you for sharing this information. Have a good Father's Day.
Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link.
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. Yeah. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app though. It's not an app. App, you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link,
you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like we do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big bucks.
It's not an app, though. It's not a app. What the It's not a app.
You kiss your mother with her mouth? My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though.
Non-profit organizations serving youth and seniors in St. Martin received a significant boost this week, refurbishing laptops to help improve their daily operations and outreach. The laptops were provided through the collaboration between the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports, ECYS, First Caribbean Bank, VNG International, the implementing partner of the R4CR program, and 4C Foundation, which also facilitated the donation. Recipients include 7-to-1 Kids Foundation, Stichting EGO, Belvedere Community Center, No Kidding with Our Kids Foundation, National Institute of Arts known as NIA, Home Away from Home, Senior Citizens Recreational Center, the Now Generation Foundation, and 4C Foundation itself. These groups run after-school programs, arts education, and senior care initiatives. Speaking at the presentation, ECYS Minister, the Honorable Melissa Gums, praised the nonprofits for their consistent service and affirmed her ministry's support. She urged them to keep making a difference in the lives of the people they serve. 4C Foundation Director Jose Summers highlighted the importance of technology for these organizations. A laptop might seem simple, but it's a bridge to better planning, communication, and impact, she said. The laptops will help groups apply for funding, manage programs, and even offer virtual learning. In total, over 30 refurbished laptops were distributed, customized to meet each group's needs. The initiative reflects 4C's Foundation's ongoing mission to strengthen civil society through innovation, technology, and cross-sector partnership.
The Ministry of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Transport and Telecommunication, known as TEAT, continues to strengthen St. Martin's role in sustainable agriculture and food security through active regional and kingdom-level collaboration. From May 19th to 23rd, a St. Martin delegation participated in the Dutch Caribbean Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries Alliance, known as the CALFA, conference held in Bonaire. Representatives from TEAT, including Senior Policy Advisors Avril Isaac and Shervin Frederick, and Inspector Mervyn Butcher, joined the local farmers and fishermen in 5 days of discussions, workshops, and field visits. The goal: advancing sustainable food systems and preparing for the renewal of the 2023 Memorandum of Understanding in 2026. Shortly after, Isaac and Frederick traveled to the Netherlands for follow-up talks with Dutch Minister of Agriculture, Femke Wiersma. The meeting, supported by Senator Tekke Panman and the Netherlands Enterprise Agency, focused on deepening kingdom collaboration in agricultural policy, vocational training, and innovation. The team also toured Green Tech, the Netherlands' leading agri-tech expo, and visited top institutions such as Wageningen University and the World Horti Center. These engagements reflect TEAT's broader goal of empowering local producers, boosting international and inter-island ties, and supporting resilient economic growth through agriculture and fisheries. The next DECALFA conference is set for 2026 in St. Martin, positioning the country as a regional leader in food security and sector innovation. Nature Foundation St. Martin, in collaboration with DCNA and Vocal Beskerming, hosted the island's first Bird Fest last weekend, June 14th and 15th. The event celebrated local bird life and raised awareness about conservation through a mix of fun and educational activities. Birdfest, it offered guided birdwatching tours, family-friendly workshops, and a scenic sunset catamaran sail, all aimed at connecting residents and visitors with the island's rich avian biodiversity. Outreach Officer Gaia from the Nature Foundation emphasized the importance of birds in maintaining healthy ecosystems, from seed dispersal to insect control. The festival drew attention to growing threats like habitat loss and pollution, and aimed to inspire action to protect bird species. It also complemented other local outreach efforts like the annual Migratory Bird Festival by expanding bird education into the summer. A full schedule of activities was available on their website, of course, naturefoundationsxm.org. For more information, email info@naturefoundationsxm.org or call 544-4267.
The St. Martin Tourism Bureau and Princess Juliana International Airport are clearing up confusion following an online video falsely claiming a U.S. travel ban on Caribbean airports. Officials confirm there is no such ban in place. Flights between St. Martin and the United States of America are operating normally, with no interruptions expected. Authorities have received no communication from the U.S. Department of Transportation, Homeland Security, or the FAA suggesting otherwise. Travelers are urged to rely on official sources for updates and to be wary of misleading or sensational content spreading misinformation. St. Martin continues to maintain strong air links and tourism ties with the U.S., and travel remains fully open. That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Martin News Desk.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. on TV 15 and then across all social media platforms. I'm Austin Lawrence.
And I'm Justine Lassiter, wishing you an amazing week. See you next time.
And all week long, stay friendly.
St. Martin.
Thank you, Jess.